Welcome back, basketball fans. Today, we are excited to present the Ultimate Western Conference Preview, a special combination of our previous 3 videos. If you already watched Part 1, 2, and 3, feel free to check out our other content. But if you want to revisit the insights or enjoy the full experience in one seamless video, stick around. Let's get started. First off, let's dive into a team that made a blockbuster move this offseason. After acquiring Klay Thompson, Dallas Mavericks now featured a lineup with Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Klay, PJ Washington, and Daniel Gafford. The key difference is this lineup is Klay replacing Derrick Jones Jr. Is this new Mavericks team better? Offensively, the answer seems to be a resounding yes. As one of the greatest shooters in the league, Klay's presence beyond the arc remains a consistent threat. Despite some struggles in certain games last season, he still shot 38.7% from beyond the arc, averaging 3.5 missed threes per game. His elite catch-and-shoot ability significantly boosts the Mavericks' offense. Klay isn't just a spot-up shooter, he's consistent off-ball movement, much like Stephen Curry's. Requires a lot of defensive attention and creates space for Luka and Kyrie to operate. This could alleviate the double teams that Luka and Kyrie often faced during the finals against Boston. However, some fans are worried about the Mavericks' defense. With this lineup, Derrick Jones Jr. used to be their top rim defender, guarding players like Paul George, Anthony Edwards, and SGA. Obviously, assigning this defensive duty to Klay isn't ideal, so what can the Mavs do? One potential solution is for PJ Washington to take on the opponent's best wing attacker in the starting lineup, leaving Klay to play the power forward position. While it may sound unconventional, Klay has the strength to hold his own in the low post, but he lacks of the lateral speed to guard quick wing players. With this setup, the Mavericks may lose some defensive rebounds, so the whole team needs to work together to avoid that happening. Let's explore this against their Western Conference final opponent, the Minnesota Timberwolves. After PJ pick up Anthony Edwards, either Klay or Luka needs to guard Julius Randle. Luka would probably prefer the easier task of guarding Jaden McDaniels, so Klay versus Julius. Is that matchup as crazy as it sounds? Klay's strengths can help him contend with Julius in the post, and with this setup, the Wolves might face serious spacing issues on offense. With Jaden on Luka and Ant on Kyrie, Dante DiVincenzo would be a good choice to stay with Klay since they are both elite shooters, and Julius can match up with PJ, but without Mike Conley, can Ant effectively organize the team's offense? The key question is, can the Mavericks' new lineup hold up defensively against top Western teams? Now we have a young and hungry team with even higher expectations this season. The OKC, after a successful season last year, the Thunder exposed some weaknesses, which wasn't a bad thing. Both the players and the management saw that and made strategic moves this offseason. They traded Josh Giddey away for Alex Caruso, patching the shooting weakness beyond the arc in the backcourt. Another glaring issue was their lack of traditional center. Chet Holmgren's first year was promising, but in certain situations, he couldn't handle consistent rim attacks from opponents. In the Western Conference, several teams have centers with size and strength beyond Chet's current ability. They address this by signing Isaiah Hartenstein to fill that hole. The Thunder are still the youngest team in the league next season, which means everyone, including SGA, still have room to grow. After filling those two weaknesses and with this spirit and youngs, could be at the top after regular season. But can these changes propel the Thunder to Western Conference supremacy? Based on the preseason game on October 9th, the starting lineup was Alex Caruso, Jalen Williams, SGA, Ruben Dort, and Chet Holmgren. It's reasonable to expect both this lineup and one featured Isaiah could be their starting lineup, depending on their opponent's center. Isaiah would be valuable in the starting lineup when facing teams like Denver, the Lakers, the Kings, or even the Wolves. With Isaiah and Chet both on the court, their defense would be formidable. Isaiah can defend opponent's center, while Chet can roam and help. Offensively, Isaiah has a unique floater at the free throw line can after pick and rolls and can find teammates from the high post. Chet, on the other hand, needs to be consistent. Considering it's his second season, his future is bright. With Luguentz and Alex locking down the backcourt, any team wanting to score easily against the Thunder will have a tough task. With last year's experience, the Thunder may not let Chet face the Miles attack alone anymore. Suppose PJ Washington needs to play against Chet, then considering Clay isn't an ideal defender on SGA, then would Najee Marshall be better suited for that matchup? Probably not. One potential solution is to put PJ on SGA and let Maxi Kleber play against Chet while Isaiah is on the court. However, the Thunder have a lot of resources for this matchup. They have Alex and Luguentz to guard Kyrie and Luka, with SGA staying with Clay. This leaves the Mavericks with no easy matchups to exploit. Could the Thunder's young and defensive versatility overcome the Mavericks' offensive firepower? Moving on, the Minnesota Timberwolves were another team that surprised everyone last season. As a defensive team, their performance often hinged on refereeing standards, specifically the level of body contact referees are low. If officials continue to permit more physical plays, the Wolves will remain as competitive as before. Regarding the trade of sending Cat away for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, it's probably a win-win for both teams. We already talked about what Cat means for the Knicks. For the Wolves, their salary cap was already exposed. That's why they lose Kyrie Anderson. They're also facing contract issues with Naz Reid, who might opt out for a larger contract next year. Cat is undoubtedly one of the greatest big man three-point shooters, but he's set to earn almost $50 million next season. With this trade, the Wolves has more flexibility with their roster cap next season. Dante DiVincenzo's addition provides valuable shooting and defense. However, the real concern is Julius Randle. His playoff experience hasn't been great, only playing twice with the Knicks throughout his career. A new environment might help, but at 30, we cannot expect him to dramatically change his style. One of the biggest problems might be spacing, especially if he plays with Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels. That means there are three players who aren't significantly threat from beyond the arc. Anthony Edwards may find it challenging to attack the rim with this roster, which means the Wolves may need to sacrifice defense for better offense in certain games, such as replacing Rudy with Naz or put Dante on the court instead of Jaden. Defensively, Julius may not as efficient as Cat in certain matchups. Is this new roster configuration enough to make a deep playoff run? If the Wolves face the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs next year, the outcomes might differ from previous encounters. Rudy Gobert has struggled to guard Nikola Jokic effectively. Without Cat, Naz Reid might need to start instead of Julius to improve spacing and offensive options. Jaden McDaniels remains the best defender on Jamal Murray, and Mike Conley might have a relatively easy task guarding Christian Brown, leaving Michael Porter Jr. for Anthony Edwards to handle. The minutes played by Dante and Julius could be crucial for the Wolves to gain an advantage. Can the Wolves adjust their lineup effectively to challenge the Nuggets? Finally, we have the Denver Nuggets. No matter how Jamal Murray may have struggled from the playoffs to the Olympic game, as long as Nikola Jokic is there, they are a team no one wants to underestimate. After losing KCP, the preseason saw Christian Brown stepping into the starting lineup. Previously, KCP's job was to defend the opponent's top backcourt attacker, pure 3D player, and Christian Brown replaced that role, perhaps not entirely, but he's younger, has more energy, and his off-ball movement while attacking the rim is solid. Considering this will be only his third season, he still has plenty of room to grow. Denver's bench has changed significantly, with Russell Westbrook and Darius Saric joining the team. Those non-Jokic minutes might not be as challenging as before, especially during the regular season. While playing with bench players, Russell will be the primary ball handler. However, spacing might be a problem during the playoffs. Let's hope the three-pointer become a regular weapon for Jokic. With these changes, can the Nuggets maintain their dominance in the West against the Thunder? The Nuggets might face new challenges. With Isaiah and Chet, the Thunder can replicate the Wolves' strategy of strong interior defense like last season, but who will limit SGA? Denver may like a defender like Jaden McDaniels to contain him. If SGA becomes too comfortable offensively, it could spell trouble for Denver. The Nuggets will need strategic adjustment to handle the Thunder's youthful energy and defensive schemes. Will Nikola Jokic's brilliance be enough to overcome these obstacles? In any case, the games among these 4 teams will be thrilling to watch. First up, the Golden State Warriors. After parting ways with Klay Thompson this summer, the Warriors acquired Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, and Anthony Melton. Does this new roster give them a better shot at making a deep playoff run? The Warriors roster is now more balanced than last year because Clay's departure alleviated their salary cap pressure. The potential starting lineup could feature with Stephen Curry, Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, and TJD. However, it was mentioning that Buddy Hield hasn't started in the preseason game so far, but his ability to stretch the floor is critical for players like Kuminga to operate effectively. Hield's sharp shooting could open up the offense. Can he fill the void left by Clay's departure? What about Anthony Melton? Offensively, he could be a primary ball handler. He also could initiate the offense and make smart passes. Shot creation is his weakness. He's not particularly adept at creating his own shot in isolation. However, he provides reliable shooting from beyond the arc, 36% last season and 39% the year before, enhancing team spacing. Defensively, Anthony Melton brings a lot to the table, which could be invaluable for the Warriors. While Buddy Hield has never been recognized as a good defender, Melton's perimeter defense is strong. His lateral quickness and active hands allow him to stay in front of quick opponents, and he can guard multiple positions effectively. Last season, playing alongside Tyrese Maxey, he averaged 1.6 steals per game and ranked 6th in the deflections. Stephen Curry, despite improving defensively after increasing his strength and muscle, still needs to conserve energy for the offensive end. At 36 years old, and turning 37 before the next playoff starts, preserving Curry's energy and avoid injuries will be a primary for the whole team. With Melton's support on both ends, the Warriors might find a balance that compensates for potential defensive shortcomings elsewhere. For the front court, shooting ability beyond the arc isn't a strong suit. That's part of the reason Steve Kerr often put 3 or 4 guards on the court last season. Jonathan Kuminga's decision-making has improved. He played more games last season, but three-pointers are still his weakness. From the bench, three-pointer shooting isn't exactly Kyle Anderson's specialty either. But surprisingly though, Draymond Green shot a career-high 39.5% from three-point range last season, quite a jump for his 30.5% the season before. In the preseason, he seems to have maintained that touch. If Draymond can keep his threat beyond the arc, and more importantly, maintain his temper, keeping himself available would be a great help for the team. His leadership and versatility remain invaluable, but availability is key. We haven't yet seen the same Andrew Wiggins as during the championship season. Let's hope he can find his form after going through a difficult off-season. This lack of shooting from the frontcourt highlights why a stretch center has been on the Warriors' wishlist in the off-season. But such players are rare and often come at a price the Warriors cannot afford. With their frontcourt's limited shooting ability, however, they can mitigate this by leveraging their strengths in other areas, forcing opponent turnovers, generating more fast breaks, and increasing the pace could help them avoid the spacing problem to some extent. By playing faster and capitalizing on transition opportunities, they can create scoring chances for backcourt shooters or attack the rim before the defense set up. We've already seen this kind of changes during the preseason. The key question remains, can the Warriors' new addition support Curry enough to make another title run? Next up, the Los Angeles Clippers. After losing Paul George this offseason, many are writing them off, but is that really fair? Paul George is one of the best players in the league, and losing him for nothing really hurts the Clippers. Their performance next season will heavily rely on Kawhi Leonard. However, Shams News mentioned that he is expected to be sidelined for an indefinite period to start the NBA season. With Tyronn Lue, he can maintain the team's competitiveness even without a superstar, not to mention they still have James Harden. Additionally, the preseason performance of Kevin Porter Jr. and Kai Jones have been surprising. Though it's only preseason, their impact could be significant for the Clippers' bench depth if they can maintain their status. The potential starting lineup could be James Harden, Norman Powell, Derrick Jones Jr., Terrence Mann, and Eric Zubac. It's evident that the front court lacks shooting threats beyond the arc, which could make it harder for James Harden and Paul to create space or feed Zubac effectively. When facing spacing problems, Nicholas Batum is available to help stretch the floor. His ability to knock down threes and defend multiple positions makes him a valuable asset. Kawhi Leonard's health remains the biggest X factor for the Clippers. His two-way impact is irreplaceable, and without him, and we almost never see him fully healthy in the last 5 years, the team's ceiling is undoubtedly lower. While his return could drastically change the Clippers' fortunes, they must prepare to compete without him. Let's delve deeper into their roster and potential strategies. At 35, James Harden may not be in his MVP prime, but he remains a strong offensive force. His playmaking ability could be critical for the Clippers, especially in organizing the offense and setting up teammates. Norman Powell brings energy and a scoring punch to the lineup. He is a capable shooter and slasher, which complements Harden's playmaking. Terrence Mann has shown versatility and the ability to step up in big moments, providing defense and hustle plays. Derrick Jones Jr. adds athleticism and defensive versatility but isn't known for his outside shooting. This contributes to the spacing issues in the front court. However, when Leonard is available, pairing him with Jones Jr. could create an elite defensive combination. Ron Lu has proven himself as a coach who can adapt and get the best out of his players. His strategic adjustments will be critical in navigating the challenges ahead. The Clippers face an uphill battle without Paul George and with Kawhi Leonard's status uncertain. Will the Clippers define the odds and secure a playoff spot? Now let's turn our attention to the Phoenix Suns. The only significant addition they made this offseason is Tyus Jones, whom Devin Booker called a steal. Could he be the key to solving the Suns' problems? Depends on what their goal is. With the current roster and considering how competitive the top Western teams are, their chances of chasing the championship may not look promising, especially unless they address the unsolvable problem of Bradley Beal and his $170 million contract over the next 3 years. But now, they finally have a true point guard. Tyus Jones is known for his steady hand, boasting one of the league's best assist-to-turnover ratios, making smart decisions with the balls and minimizing mistakes. With Jones winning the point, Devin Booker can return to his natural shooting guard position without worrying about organizing the offense too much. Booker has shouldered playmaking duties in the past, but allowing him to play off the ball could make him even more lethal. Jones' ability to facilitate the offense might also benefit Kevin Durant, providing him with easier scoring opportunities without having to dribble too much himself. Could his playmaking ability unlock the full potential of the Suns' star-studded lineup? Meanwhile, Joseph Nurkic's health is crucial for the Suns. Last season, he managed to play 76 games, a remarkable feat given his injury history in Portland. As a skilled big man who can score inside, rebound, and facilitate from the high post, defensively, he can protect the rim and anchor the defense, which is vital against dominant Western Conference bigs. Maintaining his health will be the key to the Suns' success. Patching their biggest weakness is a good start. If Tyus Jones can build proper chemistry with the team, they may be more competitive than last season. Finally, Los Angeles Lakers, who may not be as optimistic as the teams we've discussed so far. Based on what the management team did during the off-season, it's hard to see any clear goals set by the upper management, except perhaps seeking attention. Can anyone explain why the Lakers give a 4-year, $32 million contract to a second-year rookie averaging just 3.8 points per game? If I were to Prince, I would have left as well, and obviously on a minimum contract anywhere else. It's also JJ's rookie year as a head coach or as a coach at all. At the beginning of the off-season, if fans still remember, there were rumors that LeBron James were willing to sacrifice his salary to free up a mid-level exception for the team. At that time, plenty of options were available, but nothing happened. The roster seems downgraded compared to last season. Not to mention that both the Spurs and Rockets are trying to move up as well, with the Kings and Pelicans remaining competitive. The Lakers next season will be tough. First up, the Spurs. As we discussed during the off-season, after picking up Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, they are ready to push for the playoffs. So, after playing several games, how have they fared? Their starting lineup featured Chris Paul, Julian Champagnie, Harrison Barnes, Jamil Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. Offensively, Chris Paul is already showing his value, running the pick and roll as long as the screen is solid. Both Wemby and Sohan can benefiting greatly. However, the opening game against the Mavs wasn't great for the Spurs. Yes, the Mavs were the team that advanced to the NBA Finals last season, but that's no excuse for Wemby to launch 8 3-pointers, regardless of his shooting percentage. In my opinion, Wemby needs to get into the paint more. It's not easy facing guys like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively second, but looking at the opening game between the Thunder and the Nuggets, Chet Holmgren went 11 of 18, only shooting 4 threes, even though he didn't make any, while going up against the best player in the league, Jokic. I'm not saying Wemby should play exactly like Chet. He's unique in his own way, but Wemby should show more aggressiveness on offense. He can shoot the three, but averaging 5 attempts per game would be enough in my view. Chris Paul struggled a bit initially in this game. His only points came from a three in the third quarter, but his long-term value was clear with 8 assists and only 2 turnovers. He found his rhythm later on for the upcoming games, and I'm not too worried about his scoring. That's not why Coach Pop signed him. Julian Champagnie played exceptionally well. Pairing him with Chris Paul in the backcourt has been beneficial. Instead of playing the small forward position along with Troy Jones and Devin Vassell, his 6'8" frame is an advantage at the shooting guard position. Defensively, the team still seems a bit chaotic, which is understandable since the starting lineup has changed a lot. Defense isn't something one superstar can fix. It requires team effort. The Spurs need to figure out how to handle the 1-5 pick and roll. Will Wemby switch or play drop coverage? Should they let the 39-year-old Paul navigate the screen, or will the strong-side wing defender offer help, with the rest of the team rotating accordingly? Personally, with their current roster, especially the starting lineup, the Spurs has the ability to rotate while letting Wemby stay in drop coverage, which could maximize his defensive impact. Another advantage the Spurs could utilize is their noticeable size. Aside from Paul, Champagnie, Barnes, and Sohan are all 6'8". With Wemby, they should lead the league in rebounding and shooting contests. When Vassell returns to health and the whole team starts to build chemistry as the time goes by, it will be interesting to see how the Spurs develop as the season progresses. Houston Rockets. Last season, the Rockets finished with a 41-41 record. They ended up 11th in the Western Conference. Offensively, they scored 114.5 points per 100 possessions, which ranked 20th in the league. Defensively, they allowed 113.4 points per 100 possessions, placing them ninth. In short, their defense outperformed their offense. The arrival of Coach Udoka was a game-changer. He built a strong defensive culture with the team. They slowed down the pace and improved their transition defense. Players showed active footwork and enthusiasm. They were excellent at forcing turnovers and pushing opponents into low-efficiency mid-range shots. Plus, the team's overall athleticism is among the best in the league. On offense, Sengun has been showing growth, with Fred VanVleet joining as the starting point guard. His pick-and-roll partnership with Shengun has become a key part of their half-court offense. Jalen Green's performance since the season started has been great. Steve Adams shows how to set a textbook screen, bringing up Jalen Green and Grant VanVleet. However, there are challenges. Despite the Rockets already signing new contracts with Shengun and Green, the young duo doesn't seem to have built strong chemistry yet. In fact, Jalen Green played better with Adams. Players like Amen Thompson may have compatibility issues with the team system. Their shooting resources are just average, and with so many young players, developing them all effectively is a tough task. There are rumors linking KD and Jimmy Butler with the Rockets. The Suns are playing well right now, so probably uninterested in any trading one KD or Booker. But Jimmy is another story. His contract issue. So Rockets fans, if the team has a chance to trade for Jimmy, what cost would you accept? Over the summer, the Pelicans made a significant move by trading Dyson Daniels and Larry Nance Jr. to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for DeJounte Murray. They also add Daniel Tice as their starting center. However, they lost key players like starting center Jonas Valanciunas and backup wing Najee Marshall. Right now, the Pelicans are facing a shortage of solid interior players. Besides Zion Williamson, they don't have many big-bodied forwards or centers. The lack of a traditional 30 center could pose challenges, even with Daniel Tice stepping in. The bench had also taken a hit. Last season, the combination of Nance, Jose Alvarado, Marshall, and Dyson Daniels provides a strong defensive presence off the bench. This year, that defensive depth has diminished. Offensively, the team has several ball handlers, but lacks a true elite playmaker. Spacing could also be an issue, and the team doesn't have consistent three-point shooters. On the bright side, Zion Williamson played really well last season during the play-in tournaments. If he hasn't got injured in the fourth quarter, they might have had a chance to get into the playoffs. His ability to attack the rim is crucial for the team's success. The team also has an elite defender in Trey Murphy, who despite being currently out with a hamstring injury, is expected to return soon. His presence will significantly boost their defense. Ultimately, Zion's ability to stay healthy could be the game changer for the Pelicans. The Kings are looking to build on last season's failure, and so far, they are off to a promising start. Offensively, the Kings are pushing the pace like never before. De'Aaron Fox is leading the charge, using his incredible speed to initiate early offense and exploit mismatches. Instead of settling for jumpers, he's attacking the rim aggressively and making smart decisions that energize the entire team. Sabonis remains a game changer. Kevin Hunter is regaining his shooting touch, providing much-needed spacing on the floor. His confidence is back, and he's making quick decisions that keep the ball moving. The team is taking what the defense gives them, focusing on attacking the paint and rotating the ball effectively to find the open man. Keegan Murray is stepping up by attacking the basket and being aggressive on the board. Even when his shots aren't falling, he's impacting the game with his hustle and rebounding. His growth is a positive sign for the team's steps, especially after Harrison Barnes leaves the team. He's now the best perimeter defender. No need to mention how DeMar DeRozan added value to the offense. On the defensive end, the Kings have stepped up their games. They are playing with more physicalities, showing active hands, and causing disruptions. The team is focusing on deflections, steals, and blocks. Kevin is bringing energy off the bench with his defensive hustle. He's setting the tone by creating momentum-shifting plays like walkaways and putback dunks. His activity is infectious and keeps opponents on their heels. The Kings are also emphasizing team rebounding, which helps them control the board against bigger teams. They are committed to team defense, covering for each other and minimizing opponents' scoring options. Overall, the Kings are showing signs of becoming a well-rounded team. Their commitment to pushing the pace offensively while locking in defensively would make them a sleeper pick in the Western Conference. If they continue to develop chemistry and maintain this level of play, they could surprise a lot of people this season. Thanks for tuning in. Each team has a chance to impact this Wild West in a big way. Who do you think will surprise us the most this season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.